Hello everyone and welcome to Civilization 6. Now this is a game I play a lot. I normally play it with Daniel on the other half of the channel. And I thought I'd go through a video of explaining some of the decision making choices and kind of do like a how I play this game kind of thing. I've chosen to go with Pericles for this game. Mainly because I haven't won a game as Pericles yet, as in I've just not really played with him. Um, we'll talk about some of his bonuses as we go. Um, Actually, let's talk about them now because they can be important. So we get surrounded by glory. We get plus 5% culture per city-state that we're suzerain of. We get an extra wildcard policy slot in any government. We get the hoplite unit, which gives plus 10 combat strength if there are at least one adjacent hoplite. And we get the Acropolis, which is our theatre square district replacement. Gives us one envoy when we build it. And we get an extra culture for each adjacent district and an additional culture for adjacent city centre, plus 2 bonus for each adjacent wonder, entertainment complex and water park. And it can only be built on hills. So let's go into the game and have a look at our start and talk about starting positions and things to think about. Okay, so here we are. We are in the game now. We've got a nice little location here, so let's have a little look. So this is our settler. Now, ideally, when you're looking at starting settling locations, of course, you're going to scout a little bit first with your warrior, and ideally, you want to go in a direction that will reveal the most tiles to you. And now we could go across here to reveal some across around there. We could go down a little bit to head that direction. We'll decide in a second. Looking at our immediate start, ideally you want to have some tiles, you want to prioritize growth in the first few turns. So you want to have some tiles around you that have at least 3, preferably 4 icons or more. So at least half of which being growth. So if we settle down here, we'll be probably working this tile first to get the growth. The ideal situation for me personally, I like to have a 2 food and 2 production tile to work on instantly because it's a nice even balance, like this hill over here provides that. Alas, we don't seem to have anything interesting there. So what would be some interesting move options? Like if we came here, I don't think there's nothing really interesting there. We do have some stuff we can work. Like there's a lot of forest here that we can chop. I'm going to move across the hill here to see if there's anything more interesting across the river. There seems to be an edge. Now, is this coastline or is this... that is coastline. Okay, so we can get a harbour out here, perhaps. So I think for this move, the game is recommending either here or on this tile over here. It's not a bad place. I still prefer this bit here. There is also an argument to be said for perhaps I was going to say moving across the river, but I don't think so. I think this might be the better spot here. We'll work this tile. We'll plop the city down, Athens, and we will work this tile. So we'll get them to prioritize that. And we'll want to focus growth afterwards. So I'll get them to prioritize that so we get done in 5 turns now instead of 15, but we're only working that. And we're going to want to find out stuff about our local area. So we'll build a scout. And it will go to... Let's talk about research. So we have a few options here. You've got the first lot of text, and then you have the bits up here as well. Sailing. Normally, I'd probably never ever get sailing first unless you're on an extremely archipelago or that kind of map. That's probably the only time you really want to do that. Astrology, you only really want to go for first if you have like a killer holy site location and or if you want to rush religion for some reason. Now, a religion does kind of help. Well, may be able to support culture victory for Pericles, but it's not necessary, so we don't need to rush it at all. That leaves the 3 starting tech options: animal husbandry, mining, or pottery. Now, you may take a look at our surrounding area and go, okay, we've got 2, we've got, animal husbandry luxury resource here that we need to be able to get. We don't need any text for rice or wheat. Um, so we could go for animal husbandry. Um, but let's talk about. To be honest, that's what I normally go for straight away, and I'll tell why. One, because it leads to archery, which can help defend against barbarians really early, and secondly, it will reveal horses to us, which will add. Which will, yeah, reveal horses, and I think it adds a production onto it can add like an extra production onto a tile, making suddenly this tile, which if I go to get a settler to, if I was to get a civilian to work it, um, wouldn't actually produce any profit. It would make it produce a profit. Because how it works is for each point of pop you have, they consume 2 food. So we're working this tile at the moment. Um, so that is basically providing that pop with 2. It's taken the 2 food away to feed itself, and then we've got the leftover food that is surplus. We also have the 2 food from our home base. That's where we're getting this +3 from. So we're growing at a rate of +3. So yeah, if you reveal like horses, you're getting profit on tiles with at just 2 food, which will be beneficial for us. Plus, it also gets us our strategic resource that we can start working towards making horsemen if we need to build horsemen for any reason. Let's talk about the other options though. So you have pottery, which will unlock the granary. Now the granary is a good building if you have like a lot of good starting tiles and you want to be working them as soon as possible. The granary could be an interesting first build because it'll give you some bonus housing, which you'll get from fresh water, and it'll grow you that little bit quicker, so you can afford to have more people working those good tiles. It also unlocks us the Great Bath, which is a wonder that we can build. It provides an amenity and an extra 3 housing, and it will basically mean that this. See this mark on the floor here? These flood plains. This river will flood at some point, or it has a possibility to flood. So if you build the Great Bath, that will basically protect us from that, and it will convert the like the floodplain things into faith instead. That'll give us a faith boost. So um, we could perhaps maybe try and go for the Great Bath and build it. My concern is looking at it is that we don't have a lot of great production tiles. If we try to go with that early on, and that could put back our settlers a bit too much. So while it may be a nice thing to build, it might not be perfect, especially when we don't have the nice good production. I mean, there's somewhat okay production tile there that we could work, but again, yeah, don't think it's something I'm going to go for with this game. And then we have mining, obviously, something that you'd want to probably pick up if you wanted to go for. In our case, if we could find a civilization quite early, we could do a hoplite rush and rush them because the mining leads to bronze working. So we could do like a military rush, which we still have the option to do, I think, if we manage to find someone in our first lot of scouting. That's still an option, but for now, I think we're going to go animal husbandry, the standard start for me, to try and unveil some horses. Plus, it'll allow us to work these truffles and get the luxury online as soon as possible. So let's go to the next turn. So what we're going to be doing until our scout is built is just having a little look around, trying to find some goodie huts, see if we can sweep the immediate area with our warrior to try and make sure it's clear for barbarians. There's a barbarian there. We're going to just attack it to try and get it to go the other way. We do not want anyone coming down here. It seems to have scared it off for now. There's some gem tiles over here. A lot of chops and heals and things we can chop down for wonders later. Oh, I missed the pop move. So we got our second lot of pop. Now we still want to prioritize growth in this city. But here's an interesting choice. Now we could work. The options we have here are the wheat tile or this tile. Now, as you can see, this will actually make the scout be built in 2 turns. Whereas if we work this, it will get it next turn. This increases growth by only 3 turns. So I think what we're going to do now, we're going to do this to get this for 1 turn, and then we'll think about weighing up the benefits of maybe getting some early gold versus growing a bit. We'll think about that for a while. So we're going to do that. Explore with this. Seems to be a city-state over here. Perhaps a faith one, which will be interesting. I'm going to move in that direction. We're going to get... There's now this desert up there, which makes me believe that there might not be many good settling places, because that's what we're going to do with this scout now. We're going to look for other civilizations so we can get our writing boost here, another civilization, because we're going to want to build some campuses, because science is very important. And we're going to be looking for goodie huts, more city-states and civilizations, and settle locations with this scout. So moving down here, there's some not bad tiles down here, another amber luxury. Also, now that that's built, we can talk about this move. Now we have another interesting choice here. We could work this tile for some extra boosting production. Or we can go over here for growth. So that's 6 turns for me to work that, and that's 9 turns. But let's think, in those 9 turns, we'll be getting an extra 3, so that's 27 gold we'll be getting. I think we're going to prioritize gold for this, and this time, rather than going for pure growth, because we think about it, we could perhaps buy something early on, buy another warrior rather than build one later on if we need to. Just use that gold for that instead. A second item of construction. So our options here, we could start going, we can go for a monument. So a monument would give us better culture. It would mean we get some of these things quicker. It would let us get to our Acropolis up here a bit quicker. Let us get our government quicker. And various other bits. It would also mean that we'll be able to reach for other tiles quicker, because the extra culture would mean this would be able to push out. But knowing that cities only go for the second tier of stuff before going for the third tier, if you look at the second tier of things, it's all, there's no bonus resources. I don't think there's any need to go for a monument this early on. Next, we could go for a settler. Now, if we have like a really good settle location, if we go to the settle lens, so you can see this is a bit too close to thing. Our only other ones we found is roughly over here in terms of fresh water. Then we could rush a settler here. I don't think we really need to. We could build a builder to improve some of these tiles, and that would also get us our craftsmanship boost for these 3 tiles. And that would take 10 turns to build. I don't think we really need to go for that right now. We have okay tiles to work in the meantime. I think we could go for a scout to do another thing. There is something to be said about building another scout. We've not found any enemies, but that said, I do know that they do like they are quite a problem. So I tend to go for a slinger here. So we're going to build a slinger, which will be done in 7 turns, which will be shortly after our Code of Laws pops. So let's go to the next turn. We're going to encounter the Nazca over here. So this is a faith religion, a faith city-state. It's giving us +1 faith in the capital and 1 for every shrine. And what this basically means, like now that we found this city-state early, we're getting a +1 faith a turn, and we get the free envoy. It's when we unlock Code of Laws and we start being able to put in our first governments, we won't have to plug in this God King card, because we're going to get our Pantheon just from the natural faith coming from the city-state. So it allows us to place in the production in all cities one instead to get the extra production, which we are kind of lacking in this area. Which is nice. Nazca also have a city quest for us. They have a send a trade route, which is something we may be able to fulfill. They're not too far away, and trade is relatively soon. And the Suitor raising bonus nets us built the Nazca line improvements, which gives us faith to adjacent tiles and provides some food on desert tiles and various other things. Not necessarily that interesting, but the faith boost this early on is always good. I do like it when you meet a faith city-state first. We're going to trek into the jungle, and there's our first goodie hut. I was hoping to find a source of fresh water over here so we can put a city down in the area, but we haven't managed to find anything, unfortunately. So next turn, Now we've just unlocked animal husbandry, which has revealed horses to us on the map. There's some here, and as you can see, it's now boosted this grasslands tile with a nice. There's nothing on the immediate area near us, which is unfortunate. But there is a source of horses over here, which is nice. We're going to move over to the Goody Hut. We've got a 3 population now. That is very good. This allows us to work the additional growth tile, and get this really quite early on. So now we'll be growing in 12 turns, and we'll be producing that in 5. Actually, let's have a look at the difference here. That 4 turns. You're only shaving off 1 turn on the production, where it's shaving off, what, 11 turns for growth, so we can prioritize that. That's fantastic. So our next tech, let's just continue to scout with this guy for a little bit. There's another city-state, Rapa Nui. That's a culture city-state. We are the first to meet them, so we get another plus culture in our capital, which is going to help us grow and boost our little culture growth there. They want us to destroy a barbarian outpost within 5 tiles, so we know there's a barbarian around here somewhere. So we might want to think about sending our warrior down, because that will also get us our where is it? That will get us. It might help towards the bronze working, and there's also the military tradition, clear a barbarian outpost inspiration to go for there. And the suzerain bonus is they let us build Maori improvements, which gives us bonus culture and tourism. So that might be something we are interested in if we're going to go for a Greek tourism game. We're going to bring this warrior down here. Those are just the reports. So let's talk about the next tech choice. So options again. We still have the same options as before. We've opened up archery, which allows so that we can get some archers to defend ourselves, and lets us build the Temple of Artemis, which will give us amenities to every place within 4 tiles. Based into a camp improvement. It does it for pastures, camps, and plantations, I believe. So that is not going to be very beneficial. I like to only really build stuff like that if you've got at least 2 of like the resource. Like if there was a deer here, maybe that might be worth it. But I don't think it's necessarily that worth it. We're not under threat, so I think we can skip archers for now. Plus, we give us a chance to finish the slinger to do the Eureka moment. We could go for a holy site here, but for the same reasons as before, I don't think it's entirely necessary. Mining, that again could be another option. Mining also, oh, excuse me, was allow us to chop down some of these woods tiles so we can build things quicker, if that's something we want to be doing. There's the pottery option, which could allow us to harvest the wheat or the rice, or just to simply improve it. Again, gives us the granary to have some more health, and then the sailing, which I think we can safely ignore for now. So, thinking about options here, we haven't met any city-states either, but I'm thinking perhaps we do tend towards the way of getting our unique unit ready and revealing iron. So let's go mining with the intent of going into bronze working unless something changes. Just to reveal another tile, and perhaps we can get a better production tiles in possible locations to settle. So continue to explore. Now it does look like there's more coastline around here, so I'm going to bring my scout towards that direction to see if there's any more fresh water around this way. With scouts, I only like to do it 1 tile at a time, just in case you find a better course of direction when you're uncovering new stuff. So there's a goody hut there, so I'm going to leave the scout there for a second, and we'll continue our production. We've unlocked our code of laws. Now, in general, you're normally only ever going to want to plug in discipline card. There's hardly any occasion where you want to plug in survey, unless, of course, you've turned off barbarians for some reason. I was saying earlier that now we have unlocked this because we've got Met Nazca before. We don't need to worry about this card, so we can plug in that in a normal game. But of course, because we are Greece, we get the extra policy card, so we're going to get the benefit of having this plugged in as well. It's a great boon to us. Something I forgot to mention. Now there's a barbarian, a scout, which tells me there's probably a barbarian camp over here. We're going to want to find the location of that. We're going to bring our warrior closer this way. we're going to move over and get the could you help? We've got a 3 recon unit, which is fantastic actually. So now we're gonna send this one guy up north. I kind of neglected it before to see if there's any good locations up north. And yeah, we're gonna continue. Oh, we get to choose our next Civic. So options here. We have foreign trade, which allows us to get that trader, so we can trade with Nazca and get the 3 envoy, which is something we want to do because we get benefits. Yeah, are gonna want to build up this bonus up here, the Surrounded by Glory. Want to be able to be suzerain of many city-states, so that would be fantastic. It would also, if we go foreign trade, it'll also line up the option to get early empire, so we can start knocking out settlers quite early on. It will give us our first governor. It'll also open up the option for the Oracle if we wished, or to get the great profit points early. And it will also eventually lead to our unique district, the Acropolis. So that's a very good line of way to go down. Or we've got Craftsmen, which will help us with our builders production and lead towards our government plaza, which will help us with settling things, and our military district decision. It leads to the entertainment complex and various other bits and bobs. I think this route seems a bit more profitable for us. There's more benefits down here for us. So we're going to go foreign trade first. We get an immediate benefit of being able to build the trader. Plus, we might be able to boost it very soon. And this we can always improve later, so we can catch up later down the line when we get a builder out. So we're going to continue our exploration. And Chris, next turn. There's a great dust storm there, which we're going to try and avoid with this scout. More desert tiles. Not too many, that's not too bad. Continue to walk this way. Now there's a river here, so that might open up some settling options for us. There's a bunch of forest, there's a foxes here, ambers here, we might be able to get eventually. Hopefully there's some nice growth tiles underneath. We'll send the warrior down to have a look at that. We're going to try and escape from this scout. I don't like doing scout versus scout combat. So we're going to head south for a second. Next line. We've got our slinger online. Now, we could park the slinger back here in the base to try and keep it protected. But we might try and try and corner down this scout so we can try and get the bonus for archery later on. We'll continue to scout down here. Interesting. So we've got some decent tiles around here. Like if you plop the city here, we've got... This is the my golden ratio here, the 2 food, 2 production, plus a little bit extra culture from the amber. So I'm thinking definitely we get a settler in here. So I'm going to pop a pin down there to remind myself. This is a nice first city location down there, which is something we probably might be doing sooner rather than later. If I knew of another enemy state that might be going for that next turn, we'll have a look. We'll continue to travel south with that. Continue to travel north here. There is the barbarian camp. But someone seems to be taking the barbarian camp out. I reckon we can probably take that and get... Excellent. We've got both of our bonuses there. So what happened there? We got our boost for philosophy for... Oh, we got our boost for philosophy by meeting 3 city-states because we met Volin. We also got the boost for... Oh, it's doing the same thing. Military tradition for... And that was for clearing the barb camp. Which is back here. Nice up here. And then we got the one for... sorry, we just got those 2. We also unveiled another... a goodie hut that we can go for. And let's look at this city-state. So we met Volin, which is... where's city-states here? We are not the first to meet them, so that tells me that around here somewhere there is another city somewhere. So, did we complete their mission as well? What was their mission? Oh, it's to clear a barb camp, which they must have... okay. Interesting. So their mission for us is to construct a preserve. Now, preserves are something I, to be honest, have not really played around with much. I believe they give you housing based on appeal, but if we look at the appeal around us, it's not great. It's not great at all. Generally, high appeal places are near like world wonders and places with mountains. We don't have a great site for that there, so I don't think that's one we're going to be going for. But just being what it would have done is gave us production towards units, which can be helpful because that does um, apply towards settlers, so that would have been helpful. Its suzerain bonus is it gives us great general points whenever we defeat major or minor civilizations units, and receive great admiral points. Yeah. So overall, probably not a great thing for us anyway, so it's not too bad. We're going to continue to explore down here. Right, we've built. That was our unit. We've got our slinger. Now we can figure out what we're going to build next. We're still working the same tiles. We're going to grow in 8 turns. Typically, I like to build settlers around pop 3, pop 4. So if we look, we're going to grow in 8 turns. So if we get the settler out, it's going to take roughly about 12. If we were to build that, it would grow in 8. We'd be able to work an extra tile. It would probably work that, so we'd probably pump it out even earlier than 12 turns. So we'll probably get the settler in about 10 or 9 turns, so that'll line up nicely, and it'll bring us back down to 9 pop, and then we'll be able to get this city quite nice and early. So I think we're going to go for that. I think we're going to get the early settler here. Other options would be, of course, builder, because that lines up behind here, so we can build some, improve some of these tiles. So we could build all 3 of these tiles up. We can get the boost for craftsmanship, but at the current rate, we're not getting this for another 12 turns anyway, so we've got plenty of time. We could go for more military units. I don't think we need to worry about that for a second. So we're just going to go for the early-ish settler here. Okay, we're going to have a little hunt around for this. Here, he's there. You need to move down. Quasi decent tiles. I'm pretty happy with that placement. We're going to continue to curve south. It looks like a hint of tundra here. So this is probably the bottom of the map. Continue to go a bit northwards. Wait, did we just completely forget to... So we've got Australia. Okay. Yes, we'd love to sample your hospitality. And that has advanced our research of writing. Unfortunately, we don't know where they are, but we thought there might be a civ around here anyway. Let's talk about Australia for a second. So they have the perpetually on guard trait. So it likes civilizations that liberate cities, dislikes civilizations in a war that are occupying enemy cities. So I don't think that's something we're really going to have to worry about. On the first turn that you meet an AI civ, you probably want to send them a delegation just to get good relations going. And if we had a luxury, it might be also an idea to sell our luxury to them as well. Again, to increase increase our relationship with them, and to get us a little bit early gold as well, because you don't really need amenities super duper early. So we've met them. No, unfortunately, I missed out on that goodie hut there. That was kind of my mistake. Don't do that. Go if you see a goodie hut, definitely go get it. We're going to attack this here. We're going to bring this warrior up to reinforce there. We're going to have a little more of a look down south here, but we can see tundra, so I think we can safely almost ignore a lot of this bottom half. It's an attention to us. Fantastic.
Who deserves more credit?
We've unlocked mining. And we're going to move forward a little bit more. Chase after this scout. Across the river here. There is some quasi-decent land by the looks of things around here. Yep, so our next tech choice. We haven't seen many things that seem to want to change our plan. So I still think we're going to go for bronze working to unlock our unique unit. Find us some iron. Perhaps if there's some iron here on this hill, that would promote this choice even more. If there's something nearby us, that could be great. Perhaps there's some on this hill here. It might let us grow to a second tier thing a bit better. Get better growth choices. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Other options, we don't need to really worry about growth so much just yet. It would be nice to get a granary up here so we can work some more of these tiles when we're down here. But I think for now, stick with our original plan. Go bronze working. And we'll continue to explore up here. We'll follow this coast now. So perhaps this is where Australia is, around there. And there's another scout there. We'll just move into the woods for a bit of defense. I'm going to chase after this guy here. Continue to explore down here with this. Okay. So far, not so bad. Oh, there's a lot of troops up here. So probably somewhere we're going to stay away from. I'm a bit worried we might lose that. Bit worried we may lose this scout. Now we have found the barbarian camp there. There's also a spearman here that's come out to greet us. He seems to be guarding a tribal village here, a Goodiha. So bit worried about this placement, but let's hopefully he can survive that. Continue to explore down here. It seems like the edge of another city here, a red and white. So let's see if we can go meet them around the other side of this mountain. Yeah, that did a great deal of damage to us. We're going to move up. Let's move back out and just fortify for now. Continue to explore around here to try and meet the city state. I have a feeling it might be England, but we shall see. We are very outnumbered here. We could try and go for a cheeky barb camp steal, because if we back out here, we're still going to be under attack from 2. So I think this guy is doomed no matter what. So I think we might just go for this and try and steal the extra money here. Unfortunately, he will die next turn, but we did get him for free anyway, and his sacrifice did earn us a bit of extra gold. So it's just, unfortunately, sacrifice happens sometimes. We're going to attempt to get rid of this. Now, it doesn't tell you in the game, but their melee units do get a bonus versus anti-cavalry units. It's kind of like a there's kind of what's the game called? Like a, what is it? Rock, paper, scissors kind of thing. So melee beats anti-cav, anti-cav beats cavalry, obviously, and then cavalry beats melee. It's like an extra little bonus. It does say down here as well, when you hover over, you do get a +5 combat strength versus anti-cav units. So it's not bad. We are still quite even, but I feel like this might be a safe bet to go against anyway. At the very least, it might make them back off a little bit. There we go, see, it just ran away. So we're going to move forward a smidge. We're going to move forward with this. We've grown our next bit here. So we are going to work the this tile to get the settler out in 3 turns, or we could work here. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to work this tile instead because it basically cuts the growth rate in half. You look, 43, takes it down to 22. We are going to be losing this tile, and it doesn't really change this. So we're going to get a settler in 3 turns. And we America, interesting. Honoured to meet you. Would love to sample your hospitality. There is their capital there. Now, remember, he likes civilizations, peaceful civilizations on his home continent. So we might be able to get along quite well with a good old Teddy here. We'll send him a delegation. Again, we don't have anything to trade with him at the moment, but we can get a good survey of his land down here. It doesn't seem to have, he doesn't really have great northern settling location. So I have a feeling his first settler might end up going this direction. It's a bit better land there. So we'll go next turn. And this delegation in return, we'll say yes, please. We've unlocked our Pantheon, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm going to go in and nab this site. I'm going to go and knock out that. That next turn should get us the bonus for, unless he suicides against my unit, the bonus for archery. Let's get our Pantheon here. So, this is an interesting choice. Are we the first to get... I don't think we're the first to get a Pantheon, unfortunately. So, this is always an interesting choice. There's various benefits here, and some of these are clearly a lot better than others. And you kind of have to tailor it to what you want to do. Generally, if you're stuck for a choice, I'd normally say go for either fertility rights, or there's another one, I can't remember what it's called. But it basically gives you a free settler. This one gives you a 3... and this one gives you a 3 builder, so you can improve stuff. That's generally what you want to go for if you're a bit stuck. Other ones are a bit more specialized. So if we think about what kind of units we've got here, we have got two diamond resources over there. So perhaps one for mines on luxuries, which I think there is one for that somewhere. Um, where is that? Bonuses from luxuries. There's one somewhere. Where is it? Maybe it's already gone as well. Yeah, but generally, when picking a Pantheon, you just have to try and choose one that's going to suit you nicely. If you look down here, maybe a possible second location. There's nothing really else super interesting. So I think in this case, we may just get. We may end up just getting the fertility rights one, just to get us city growth in our capital higher, to get us a free builder. We can work some of these, unlock that. So I'm tempted to go towards that. Um, City patron goddess, perhaps, maybe, if you want to try and catch it. Like if you're really behind, you probably want to get something like that. There is an argument to be said for getting God of the Forge if we wanted to do a um, to do our Hoplite Rush. I don't think that's something I really want to go for this game. I don't think we have enough pastures or any of these other bits up here to. Oh, there it is. There's the mines from Luxury Resources. I don't think we have anything enough of any of the things up here to to warrant choosing that. So we're going to choose fertility rights. We're going to get the free builder, and we're going to use that builder. Uh, First of all, get this online, so we can get that luxury on board. And yeah, and we'll continue our exploration. We're going to go north a little bit. There's a big desert here. Oh, excellent. It did decide to suicide against our unit here, so we were able to get that boost from on this slinger. I'm going to upgrade the slinger. I'm going to give it the volley command because at the moment we're not using it as a garrison troop. Eventually, you kind of will want both of these, but for now, volley is normally the best bet. It's guarding this tribal hut. We're going to try and attack it to try and get the hut. We have been seen by another barbarian, so we're going to have to try and run home quickly to try and defend it. So for now, let's build the camp there. That'll get us that online. That'll provide us with the much needed. Oh, there seems to be a natural wonder here. Excellent. That's boosted our religion. This is a nice little wonder here for some extra faith and culture. The Luru Ayers Rock. We may have to worry about this scout. We haven't seen a camp, but there may be one in here, so they could send some troops in. But hopefully we can get over here before to intercept before that happens. Gonna run over, get the 3 thing. We got a 3 Eureka. It was unfortunately one we're probably going to get anyway. Farmer resource. We would have got that eventually anyway. We've got our settler here, so we can start walking him down. Now there is a scout around here, so I'm a bit. So we have to be a bit careful of this settler being taken. So I will go via this direction because we know we're going to go round the long way, hopefully to meet up with one of these. Plus the scout is probably around here somewhere, and if it comes up, it'll have to cross the river to try and get them. Got a unit upgrade here. There's a lot of forest around here, so I'm going to upgrade with the faster through woods and rainforest upgrade. And we'll continue to scout with him next turn. Now we're getting foreign trade in 1 turn, which probably means we may want to either buy or perhaps start building on a trader. I think we might buy the trader to get with Nazca so we can start getting this open. Plus, it would be nice to get suzerain quite early on. The earlier we can get this unique bonus, this bonus rolling, the better. So we may purchase a trader next turn. We're going to grow in 8 turns. So is it worth going for another settler, do we think? Pumping out a settler now, or is it worth perhaps building another military unit? Because we've seen one heading this way. I think I'm going to opt for that. We're going to start working on another warrior. Yes. In fact, that's actually that's fine. 8 turns is fine. Yeah, that's fine. This is our builder. We're going to head round to this tile. I'm going to unlock that tile. Excellent. I'll do that. continue to walk these people around. So there's the scout. Fantastic. We've unlocked our trade route, so let's buy our trader now. Next turn we can send that to Nazca. That will give us a bit of faith, a bit of gold. Right, our next choice. Now, so our options here, we can go for Early Empire. This, as we said before, this will give us our card for settlers, which will be great, and unlock our first governor. Or we could go down here for mysticism. This will give us our envoy, which we could send to one of them. And also unlock the policy card for a great prophet. Now, we haven't prioritized a holy site, so it might not be worth going down for that. This is going to get boosted soon, the craftsmanship bonus. So that'll be 7 turns for that. I think we're going to go for Early Empire for now. Just so we can perhaps get this scout card. Plus, it also leads to our unique district. Have a look at our policy cards. Tend to do this every time. Now, we do also already have our Pantheon. So we could probably swap this out. We're not actually trading yet, so we'll be missing out on 1 turn of stuff. But I am thinking for now this might be good. Let's save up. This is a perfectly viable option to do this. But I think let's start banking up some faith, just in case we want to use it to purchase some units or something down the line later. So I'm going to continue to explore with this scout down here. There's a American unit. Then we'll move that here so it's in the way of this settler, and then we're still going to attack. So there we go. It's been freed, and then we're going to move around. We're going to move this person home because they will heal quicker back home. We've got that tile. Move down to this rice. So now we should see that should increase our growth rate in this city. Yes, now only 4 turns, and now it kind of lines up with our building, which is perfect. This we're going to trade with Nazca. I'm going to get an extra 3 gold a turn and get an envoy there, and it will also give us our booster for currency, which will give us the all-important commercial hub. Now, I think up here we're going to want to build a harbour district here, so let's rather than a commercial hub. So let's do that for now. Put a harbour here. Now let's think about where our Acropolis is going to go. I'm thinking that we're probably going to chop out some resources here. We could pop the Acropolis on there. Maybe put the... Ooh, is this a hill? Because the Acropolis gets +2 bonus from things. So we could go... I think we were going to go Acropolis on this hill here. It has to be a bit on the hill. Then probably a campus here. Does the Acropolis get bonus from campus? I can't remember. Every district and then we're probably going to build that there. That way we got at least 2 + 2, 2 + 3 districts. We've probably got room somewhere around here to pop like an industrial district there to get bonuses from that kind of stuff there. But that's the kind of plan we're looking at right now. We could also go for moving some of this stuff around. We could also do this. We could pop the, just thinking about things, we could pop the government plaza there. We could pop the Oracle there, and then pop the Acropolis there, and that will give us a better Acropolis. Not the Eiffel Tower, but the Oracle. No, not the Oracle. So that's the government plaza. Yeah, that kind of looks like it might be a good idea to do as well. Let's go towards that. Now, the reason the Oracle is a good choice, if we look at the Oracle in here, mysticism. Oops, I'm not going to change the mysticism. World tracker, get rid of that. So if we look at the Oracle, it gives patronage of great people costs 20% less, 25% less faith. District provides people once of their type. Must be built on hills. So it'll give us more points towards our great writers and things. So it's a great early wonder to get for people going towards culture and things like that. It's quite a good one to do. So we're looking at that for the plan for now. Next turn, let's continue to do some more exploration. Some more bits around here. I'm going to improve this last tile, which will get us our boost towards craftsmanship, and also dramatically increase our growth potential in this city. You're going to walk down here with them. You are heading home, scouting around. So we found another coastline. Now we are playing on a small continents map, so this could be the end of the continent here. And looking around this area, like this massive desert, doesn't give Washington a lot of expansion space. So we may have to keep an eye out for areas up here where he might end up going to. So we're going to move into our expansion spot. Going to walk this person down just to keep an eye on them. Walk this back into our lands. You're going to continue exploring. There's another. We should probably have a look around here because there's another. There's a freshwater source there. And we'll call the first video here. I don't know how long it's been. It's been quite a while, I reckon. But at the very least, we should have talked about some starting ideas, some opening tech choices, and various things like that. Next time, we'll talk about opening builds for new cities and things like that. And yeah, and just continuing along the plan. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.